Hello, this little short tutorial was going to show you how to insert section breaks using Word 2010. What I'm going to do is briefly go over what we're going to do using this very short presentation, and then I'm going to show you in Microsoft Word how to actually perform the steps. You want to think about when insert a section break, why would you want to use a section break? We know when you open up Word by default, there's just one section. There's no section breaks. Word, the document, when you first open it up, is just one big section. But if you want a document that has, let's say, different margins in one part than another part of the document, or maybe you want a header and footer on one part of your document but not on the title page, for example, those were good examples of when you want a section break. So you use a section break anytime you want one part of your document to be different from another part. So how do you create a section break? It's different than a page break. That's what I find most of my students. That's where they get confused. You click on the Page Layout tab and click Break in the Page Setup group. And I'm going to show you that in Word, but you know that we're going to be looking for the Page Layout tab. We're going to click Break in the Page Setup group, and then we're going to choose the type of break that we need and click OK. Now, the type of break options that we will have includes the next page. Sometimes we want to create a section break and we want to go to a new page. Or we might choose a continuous page break. At other times, you might be working on a document and you want to change, let's say, to columns. You want to change to 2 or 3 columns, but you don't want it to affect all your document, and you don't want to go to a new page. So you would click Continuous Break. Then you also have the option for odd page and even page. If you were working on an ebook, for example, and you needed a different format for your odd pages, you would can create a section break for the odd page or your even page. So how do we delete a section break? Now, this is a little tricky. You want to be sure that you're in draft view and click on the double dotted line. That's how it will look. You can see it in draft view best. And you want to not just click on it, but select the double dotted line and then click your delete key. You can also, if you're working on a large document, this would be helpful. You can use the search and replace feature to search for your page break and then delete them. And I'm going to show you also how to do that next in the little tutorial. So let's go now to Word, and let me show you how this works. We want to go to Page Layout tab. Okay, you see Home, Insert, Page Layout. And on the Page Layout tab in the Page Setup group, you will see Breaks. Click the drop-down arrow by Breaks, and you will see the different section breaks. Next page, continuous, even page, and as I was mentioning to you, the odd pages that you might use, for example, if you were formatting a book. This is just a little document I use sending my students to get ready for their online class. And let's just say we wanted to put these bulleted points in a column, but we don't want all of our documents in columns. So what we would do is go to the end of this sentence and create a section break. And we want it not to be next page because you don't need to go to a new page here. So we'll just choose continuous. And also after the bulleted points, we don't want columns. So let's create a section break here at the end of this last bulleted point. We click Breaks and then go to under your section breaks, continuous again because we don't want to go to a new page. Now inside these section breaks, we can change to 2 columns. And notice that our columns, we have to clean up our little bullets here, but our columns did not affect the text above this section break, and it also did not affect the text below the section break. Now let's say that with this, on this part of the document, we wanted to change our margins. We want this to be a wider margin, for example. We can do that as well by going to break and go to continuous because we don't want a new page, and change our margins. And let's say I want to go to a narrow margin. See how that widened and changed your margins after this section break, but it did not affect what was above that section break. Okay, do you see how the section breaks work? Now let's say we wanted to delete our section breaks. It's easiest, I find, to go to draft, view, and then draft mode. Now we can see our section break, see how it looks like a double dotted line. If I click here and press delete, you see that when you select and press delete, nothing happens. But when I move my mouse pointer over, notice how my mouse pointer changes to an arrow, and I select that double dotted line and press delete. Then you can delete the section break. So select it, press delete. That's all it is to it. It's pretty easy, huh? Once you know how. So I hope that helped with section breaks. I hope that makes your job a little bit easier. Just contact me. Let me know how I can help you. Send me your questions. I have a good time creating a little tutorial to help make your job easier.